Most of us spend our entire lives seeking out our destiny. In the past 2 years of my life, I've come to know a man who created his own. It began in a stable in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago, and it led him to a cross on the hills of Calvary. And it included you and me. And you and me, we too have a destiny. And someday soon, our destiny is going to cross his. And that's why I'm standing here tonight, to share with you how my destiny crossed his, and how it changed my life forever. I was finishing up the 2004-2005 school year at Cathedral Carmel, and I was a man of mixed emotions. I was extremely sad because my time at that fine institution was coming to a close, and I would be leaving behind individuals who at first had been just colleagues, but after spending the first 4 years of my teaching profession with them, had become more like family. Yet I was extremely excited because I had just been offered the opportunity to teach civics and American history for the 2005-2006 school year at St. Thomas More High School, thus fulfilling a professional career goal. With all the academic requirements of the year met and a little extra time on my hands, I allowed my students, many of whom would be moving to St. Thomas More with me the following year, to ask me some personal questions, and I could decide if I wanted to answer them or not. A young man in the back of the room raised his hand, and when I called on him, he asked me, "Hey coach, what's your greatest fear?" I had to stop and think about that. No one had ever asked me that question before. But then an answer came to me as clear as day. I looked the young man in the eye and I said to him, "Son, my greatest fear would be to have a child with a mental or physical handicap. Because I'm such a perfectionist, I don't think I handle that very well." Well, I finished up the year at Cathedral and moved on to St. Thomas More, never giving that statement a second thought. Little did I know that in 4 short years, that statement would define the man you see standing before you tonight. Or could I ever imagine the impact the story I'm about to share with you would have on my life and on the lives of so many others. I did not come here tonight to preach faith to you, but rather to share a story with you about walking in faith. And if you've ever had the privilege of knowing someone who's walked by faith and not by sight in their life, they can tell you those are two completely different things. This world we're called to live in at times can seem like an emotional roller coaster, with its steady stream of triumphant peaks and the lows and depths we find ourselves in as we're walking through a valley. I want to start this presentation off with a song by the band 3 Doors Down called "It's Not My Time." And I chose that song because I believe the lyrics to it epitomize the spiritual battle that's waged in my mind, my heart, and my soul since Tuesday, September 30th, 2008, and will continue to do so for the rest of my life in every valley I walk through with my youngest son, Eli.
I am totally falling in love with you, and may there be less and less of me and more of you. And I am totally falling in love with you, and may there be less and less of me and more of you. And when I put myself first, would you move me behind, and I'll relentlessly follow your will and surrender mine. When I put myself first, would you move me behind, and I'll relentlessly I am totally falling in love with you, and may there be less and less of me and more of you. And I am totally falling in love with you, and may there be less and less